back to the channel. Now, I saw these on Banggood's website several months ago, and I thought, that looks pretty damn interesting. They're a set of FPV goggles. I'll show you what's inside in a moment, but I saw these. The specs looked very impressive. OLED displays, quad diversity, a wide field of view, fantastic looking optics because you can change the IPD and the focal length individually for each lens. And I thought, if these do what they say on the box, these could be my new go-to FPV goggles. Now at the moment I use the SkyZone 030s because they're just so damn good, but I do find they have a slightly too narrow field of view for my personal preference. I love an immersive experience. I love the big field of view. I don't care if it's not quite linear and it might be a bit blurry in the edges. I love the big field of view. So these look like they were going to do the biz. And I said to Banggood, hey look, I'd like to review those. Can you send them to me? And they were on back order, or they were waiting for stock to arrive for months and months and months. And then suddenly they turned up, and every reviewer in the world got a set. And they sent me a set, and because of the COVID-19, it took an extra month for it to get to me, because in New Zealand here there's no passenger flights in and out, so there's no transport of products, so things take forever. But finally they turned up, and I thought, woo, let's take a look at them. So without further ado, let's open them up. We don't unbox, but we do unbag. Here we go. It comes in a nice carry case. It's a nice little case with a belt strap there. Hey, all looking good so far. Inside, what do we got? A manual. We have a manual which tells us that this is the XFLIP instruction manual. Modular 3D FPV goggles. Are they 3D? Are they 3D? Really, seriously? Okay, I guess 3D is a trendy word. Now, I've looked through this manual, and I've got to say, a bit of a disappointment. Some really, really important stuff is not covered in this manual, like, what's the voltage range of these goggles? It doesn't tell you. It doesn't tell you what voltage you use them on. So, okay, I've opted for a 3-cell pack because I saw another reviewer use a 3-cell pack and it didn't blow up. So I thought, yeah, we'll use a 3-cell pack. Here's one I have lying around. The other thing was, I was looking, where do you put the SD card? Because it's got a DVR, like most goggles these days. Looking for the DVR. Couldn't find it anywhere. Couldn't find the slot. I mean, I was looking underneath and, in here and on the top. No. I'm not a Fat Shark user, so I didn't realise that it's actually hidden way up in there behind the, because if you look like this, you can't even see it. You've got to know it's there and pull that up. So not mentioned in the manual. So the manual falls more than a little short in a number of areas, but okay, maybe, and this isn't an early one. I think Stu from UAV Future's got an early one with Chinese writing. Mine's got English writing, so it's not a pre-release, it's a release product. So it'll be judged as such. Right, so manual, points out of 10, 2 points for the manual. Not very many, but never mind, we're intelligent people. We can figure a lot of this stuff out. So what else did we get in this little bundle of joy? Well, we got a power lead. I'll talk about that in a moment. We got a little cleaning cloth for cleaning things. And we've got an antenna. Now, it's a Fat Shark antenna. It came from something else. We didn't get an antenna. No antennas, because as you'll see, you don't even get the modules, but that's okay. It said so in the web page. It said, provide your own Fat Shark compatible modules. But let's talk about this power lead for a moment. There it is. What do you notice? Well, it's not your regular power lead, is it? Most FPV systems come with something that has an XT60 to a barrel connector. This has a barrel connector to a smaller barrel connector. So what are you going to plug into it? If you didn't already have an FPV lead with that XT60 to barrel converter, you couldn't use this, because I don't know any batteries, or RC batteries lying around with the barrel connector you can plug in there, unless you've already got a set of Fat Sharks perhaps. So it doesn't come with a battery. You've got to use your own battery, but the lead doesn't let you use a LiPo straight out of the box. That's a bit naff. The battery they provide is an extra. You've got to pay money for it, and it slots in the back here, and it's like a Fat Shark battery. I think it's got some, looks like 18650s in it perhaps. I don't know. They didn't send that. I can't review that. But this is, meh. What would it cost them to do even just 2 leads? One with a XT60. And if you look at this, I don't quite see how this works, because if the battery goes in the back, that's a hell of a lot of spare lead. So what were they expecting? Anyway, I have my battery pack here. I can plug my existing, plug my existing goggle power lead into there and plug that into the goggles to get some action. One thing I'm not that chuffed on is that it's underneath here. It hangs down. It's not a, I know the Sky Zones are the same. I'd like to have a better arrangement for the power lead, but that's where it is. So let's take a little bit more of a look at what we've got with the goggles themselves. Well, first up, the mirrored front. I guess that's a styling thing. I Personally, if I'm wearing my FPV goggles, I don't want to look like a 1980s porn star. But that's just a personal. Some people may love this. This may be just right up some people's alley. I don't know why. I guess they're trying to be distinctive. And to be fair, there's a lot of goggles out there that look pretty bad. They're better than box goggles, but they are boxy. They're boxy goggles. We've got a big fan on here, decent sized fan with a fancy grill to stop, I don't know what falling in there. A plethora of buttons, and they are labelled, which is really good. Underneath, we've got HDMI mini, not micro, which is, I don't have any mini leads, damn it. We've got earphones, we've got AV, we've got the power. We've got a little switch here on each side, because see, there's a little switch there and a little switch here, because one of the things with these goggles which I found quite interesting is it's quad diversity. And how does that work? Well, some plastic covers here we can pull off. Let's pull them off, bing. And there's another one on the other side, and underneath these plastic covers are Fat Shark module bays. So you can put a Fat Shark compatible receiver in here and a Fat Shark compatible receiver in there, which means you get 4 antennas and quad diversity. Is that a good thing? Well, to be totally honest, I don't think so. Diversity is great. Diversity is great. Going from diversity to quad diversity, you're not going to see much of an improvement at all. Not very much at all. You're paying a lot of extra money for another receiver, but you're not really going to see much improvement. I can tell you that. It's a very rapid law of diminishing gains or diminishing returns when you start adding more extra receivers to the diversity. And of course, you're going to draw more power, your battery goes flatter quicker, you know, whatever. But they haven't made that. And one thing that annoys me is, I mean, I've got a few Fat Shark modules. I've got way early old Fat Shark module there. Look at that. That's a real early one. It's just Fat Shark band, 5.8 gigs. That's it. That's all it is. But I thought this might be a bit old, so I got out this one here, which is one of the Next Wave receivers, brand new in the box. Take it out. It's actually been used in a set of HD2s. And I thought, well, okay, let's try it out. Let's put it in. And if you plug it in, let's plug it in this side. You can see it plugs in, the little pins go in the little slot there. It's a little bit fiddly, especially when you're trying to work on camera. Here we go. It's all in nice and tight. And let's put the cover back on, because obviously the covers, they've got little push-out grommets here for making sure you can put the cover back on. But when you put the cover on, it doesn't actually damn fit. It'll go on, but it's a bit, how you going? Look, it doesn't actually clip down because the module is too thick. It won't clip properly in place, so you get this bulgy gap here. And that's the thinnest module you can get from Fat Shark. It's the thinnest module that is made for Fat Shark goggles, and still the covers don't fit. So who designed this? What is the point? And if you leave the cover off and you've got an antenna on here, look at all the stresses on those pins. That's not good. That's asking for fatigue and failure. So you could put some double-sided tape in here, I suppose, and tape it to that. But it's a bit bodgy to have your module out in the air like that. I thought that was a bit, yeah, not very good. Not very good at all. So they didn't think that through very well. They didn't design that part of it at all well. But let's get down to the real meat and potatoes. Does it work, and how well does it work? Well, I'm sorry to say that this doesn't work. Not only doesn't it work very well, it doesn't really work at all. First thing I noticed was when I turned it on, I couldn't get any snow coming up when I used the Fat Shark module. This, which one was it? The Next Wave Fat Shark module. I put this in one side, I get a brief flash of snow and then black. That's all I get, nothing. So I tried it in the other bay and I get snow, but I can't change the channels. The channel switch doesn't work. Just stuck on one channel, it won't change channel. So maybe this module, this genuine Fat Shark module, is not compatible with these goggles. As I say, the problem is this manual doesn't give us any clues as to what modules are compatible and which ones aren't, so it's hit and miss. And if a genuine Fat Shark module doesn't work, what are your odds of something else working? But look in here, let's look a bit more closely at these optics, because as soon as I looked through the goggles themselves, because I could get a menu up, I noticed something a little bit disturbing. Okay, what do you notice about that lens? It's incredibly dirty. I thought, oh, it's got some film on the outside. Tried wiping it. No, look, there's something on the inside. It's all white and misty around the edges. Same with this one. It's like, what has happened here? What's going on? And if you look through the centre bit, I probably can't do it with the camera. If I can, I'll put the footage in, but it's really hard to get cameras to line up with these things. There's obviously almost like something's exploded inside the goggles, and there's a thin layer of yucky film over everything, including the OLED displays. I don't know what's gone on here, but that's like, seriously, I'd noticed none of the other reviewers seem to have this problem, but I can only review what is sent to me. So I just look at what I've got and tell you what I find. That is just, you can't use that. It's like looking, have they tried to do the soft focus and smear Vaseline on there or something? I don't know. Maybe that goes with the 1980s porn silvery front. Maybe I got the version that was used by Linda Lovelace. We don't know. But seriously, that's really just not good. So I'm going to pull these apart because I can't use them like that. I can't use them like that. But let's go back to that module situation for a moment. I thought, well, it doesn't work with a genuine Fat Shark module. Hang on, I know what I've got. I've got the Foxeer module, the actually really quite nice Foxeer Wildfire. I thought, brand new in box, let's try that. Let's put that in there, woo! And so I got the Foxeer Wildfire module and I lined it all up as best you can when you can't really see. And, oh, hang on a minute. It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit because this bay, there's all this plastic in the way at the back. I managed to get it to fit actually. In fact, it's probably fitting now. It lights up, I get the numbers, but there's no snow, it's just black. Whether it's because the signal pin isn't connecting, I don't know, because it's really tenuous. Look here, it's like, seriously, there's not a lot of connection in there. This fan bangs into there. So 2 out of the 2 Fat Shark modules I've got fail. They don't work with these goggles. And that's the problem when you rely on third-party things like receiver modules. You don't know what they are making for these third-party modules. And am I just reviewer's curse? I got the 2 modules that don't work with these goggles? I don't know, but I can't test it out. All I can look at is menus on here because the Fat Shark doesn't change channels and it's on some, I don't know what channel it's on, but I can't pick it up. And the Foxeer doesn't even work in this system. It does work in other systems. I've tried it. Seriously, what a disaster. What a disaster. I mean, I got this product from Banggood. As I say, I looked on Banggood's site, saw it coming up, thought, ooh, that could be my go-to goggles if it works as it says on the box, which it doesn't. And they sent it to me. I don't know if the other reviewers got theirs directly from the manufacturer. If they did, maybe the manufacturer checked them out before they sent them out. Obviously, Banggood doesn't check anything. They just take it off the shelf, throw it in one of those little black plastic bags and send it to you. So this is probably more indicative of what you'd get if you ordered it, rather than the stuff that may have come directly from the manufacturer to the reviewer, which has been checked over. So in some ways, getting it from a reseller like Banggood gives you guys more information as to the quality control. And in this case, there is 0 quality control. But okay, can't use them, can't test them. Let's rip them apart. Let's see what's happened in here. Is there something that's gone bang and sprayed the inside with all sorts of horrible mucky film? We're about to find out. Grab a coffee, sit down. Let's get into it. Okay, looks like we've got a screw there, and a screw there. I won't bore you while I undo them. Let's cut straight to the chase. All right, screws are out, but we're going to have to do a bit of prying. Ooh, here we go. This face cover comes off by the look of it. Yes, there we go. All right, so that's just a cover. There are our optics, and now if there's no more screws, it should just pull apart, I think. Ooh, this front silvery bit seems to be an impediment to deconstruction, but that won't last long because I'm here. Hang on, jump cut. Ooh, I've lost it. Where'd it go? 80s porn paraphernalia off. Let's have a look. Here we go. She's coming apart. You're seeing it here first, folks. Here we go. I'm not going to see much by the look of it because these optics are all kind of encapsulated in a little setup there. I don't know. Don't know how we're going to... Do these come out? Can I unscrew those? I'm going to have to do a bit more digging here. But let's take a look. While we're in here, let's take a look at how well the damn thing's built. It doesn't look too bad, but I noticed a bit of real bodgy soldering up here. This is a bit how you're going. I don't know what they were using when they soldered that, but it must have been something pretty bodgy. It's not very good, but that would have been a bit of manual soldering. But the machine, the automated soldering seems to be fine. Okay, here's the little video module. And if we look carefully in there, we can see the little OLED screen, I hope. Let me just try and point it out to you here with my shaky Parkinson's hands. The OLED screen's this little piece here. You can see down there, and here are our optics, and you can see that something's gone on here. Now, this is glued in by the look of it. It looks like some glue or something here. I wonder if the glue has fogged the plastic on the inside. So all I can think of that would have caused this, and that fogging also may have caused some depositing on the front of the OLED display, because it's just really, really bad. It's terrible. So it's the modules themselves that seem to be the cause of the problem. And I don't think I can get that out. It's been glued and taped in place by the look of it. I'll have a bit more of a play. If I can get it out, we'll take a closer look. Okay, one thing we can see while we've got it apart is this focus mechanism. You notice the focus mechanism doesn't move the lens. It moves the OLED display, if I can get it to move. There we go. See, the OLED display moves backwards and forwards in relation to the lens, which gives you the ability to focus. It does put a bit of flex on this cable, and I've noticed that if you give this cable a wiggle, oops, if I can get my hand in here, then the display wiggles as well. So that could cause problems in alignment. It's not totally solid. It just runs on these little pillars here. And you can see that lens is fogged. It's really badly fogged. So yeah, I can't get this much further apart. I think we'll leave it at that. Just say that both those units, for some reason, are just no good. They're just terrible. Couldn't use these goggles because you just can't see through the horrible fogging of the lenses. It's terrible. Look at it, honestly, seriously. So that's what they sent me, and I can only review what I've got. Now, by way of comparison, let's just compare some other goggles, the lenses. Here are my these are my Ionways. Look how clear those lenses are. They are totally clear. I've got a set of Sky Zones here. Again, look at how clear those optics are. There's no fogging, there's no frosting around the edges of those optics. They are totally clear all the way through. That's the way the optics should look. Certainly, they should not look like the optics in this set, which, let me show them to you again, look like that. Come on, focus, camera. Focus. They shouldn't look like that at all. Well, there we go. What can I say? I've shown you what I got. Can only review what I was sent. That's what I was sent, and I'm less than happy with that. It surprised me. It's not just the one set of optics, but both set of optics are the same. I don't know what went on, whether there's a bad batch of optics and no one bothered to actually even look through them when they rolled off the end of the production line. I really don't know. It's not a pre-production set. It's got the English writing on the menus when you can read them through the foggy lenses. It is what it is. Now, the really annoying thing is there's a lot of potential here. These boards are well made. They seem well laid out. The promise is great. Wider field of view. Quad diversity, you don't have to use quad diversity, but it's there if you want it. The optics with the variable focus and IPD, that's brilliant. That's damn fantastic. That's one of the things that I would have sold me on these alone. If these worked as they said on the box, I'd be right into these. My Sky Zones would be gathering dust. But honestly, I cannot recommend these. I know that Stewie on UAV Futures has done a review, and he said they're not bad for a first try or whatever, I think. But I mean, it's not up to customers to be the beta testers. The customers should get a product that works, and the bugs and the problems should have been ironed out before they get them. So I can't recommend this. Based on what's before me, I cannot recommend this as a purchase. In fact, I'd stay well clear. Now, what I would say though to XFLIP is, if this is just a bad one, if this is the Friday afternoon special that every manufacturer makes now and then, and of course, as we know, reviewers curse if they do. I get it. If this is a Friday afternoon special, send me a set that work. Send me a set with decent optics, and send me some modules that you know work in these module bays, because that doesn't, and my genuine Fat Shark doesn't. Maybe that's another fault with this unit. Maybe these module bays, or certainly the fact this doesn't fit isn't a fault, it's a design issue. But the fact that this doesn't work may be a fault with the goggles, because they don't work at all in one bay, and they work but can't change channel in the other. So maybe there's, and yes, I did turn on the module bay. I made sure I played with the switches. So if you want to right the wrongs and say, hey, you got it wrong, we're very sorry, there was a dud one. Everyone makes a dud one now and then. Send me one that works. I'll re-review it, and we'll show the people what these could be. And I'm happy to review another unit if you think you can do better. And I certainly hope you can, honestly. In the meantime, that's it, folks. That's it. You've seen what I've seen. It's needless to say, I won't be using these because I can't use them. And I'd like to thank my Patreon supporters, because if I didn't have Patreon support, I couldn't afford to be this brutal and honest when it comes to a product. And I've noticed that with other reviewers. As I say, Stewie from UAV Futures has reviewed it. A few others, it was a drone, someone reviewed them. And I've looked at some of those reviews, and they have very much focused on the positives and tried to sort of play down the negatives. And it's fair enough, they've got to do that, because they are in the unfortunate situation that they're reliant on free product to make their channels work. I am too, to a degree. Because if you think about it, if I'd spent $280 or $300 buying the set of goggles and found that they didn't work, or even if they did work and I review them, then I'm only going to get $20 from the video. YouTube pays nothing, $20 from the video. That makes it a very big loss proposition. If you're trying to make money out of YouTube, you've got to spend $280 to make $20. You can't do that for very long. So reviewers rely on a steady stream of free product that doesn't cost them anything, so that the $20 or $30 they earn from their videos, they can put in their pocket. That's how it works. So most reviewers are very reluctant to do a deep dive and rip the snot out of something because it's so bad, because they know that manufacturer is not likely to send them any more product. And then their supply lines dry up, and that's happened to me over the years. FreeSky don't send me stuff anymore. A number of other manufacturers that I have pilloried for really bad products, they don't send me stuff anymore. Why should they? Why should they send me a product, especially if it's a bit of a dodgy product, when they can send it to other reviewers who will focus on the positives and perhaps gloss over the negatives for two reasons. They want more products to review, and they've probably got an affiliate link in the description, so if you do decide to buy one, it's a bit more coin in their pocket. That's what they rely on. I am so lucky. I have Patreon support. I can afford to say, I don't care. I'm going to tell it like it is because I'm not here to serve the manufacturers. I'm not here to serve the retailers. I'm here to serve you guys watching this video. I want you to make sure that you can buy a product with confidence if I say it's good, and if it's crap, you're not going to waste your money on it because your money's valuable to you. So my focus is on giving the viewer the best information. This is never going to make me rich, and I don't care about that. I'm here to support and promote the hobby and tell you what's good and what's not. And as we've seen here today, the product I have before me is terrible. So only one bit though, only these optics. The rest of it looks pretty damn fine. Or maybe the module bays don't work, I don't know. Anyway, so what I would say is, XFLIP, if you've got one that works, send it to me and I will re-review it. Otherwise, I'm going to say avoid this. Certainly until they get some of the issues sorted out and until they improve the quality control. That's it, guys. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you to my Patreon supporters. Really appreciate it. I've got more reviews coming up this week. It's been a busy week, and hopefully you'll find them interesting and entertaining. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.